Don't worry, got you.
One night, I was scrolling through good old Gumtree looking for a deal. And to my amazement, I actually found something. Something listed by a very special person. If you didn't know, there is a little YouTuber, slightly more famous than I am, who lives up on the Gold Coast. This mystery YouTuber dabbles in the world of used computer hardware. And the thing that he is most famous for is flipping computers. I have been a fan for many years, hoping one day I might actually be able to own one of his PCs. But just like in the last video, I am not a baller. But astonishingly, that one night I was scrolling through Gumtree, I found something listed for very cheap. So I drove up to the Gold Coast the next day, gave the man $50, and I got this solid state hard drive, this power connector, and this Office PC. Let's talk about the ad, shall we? Now, this computer was a mystery machine listed for $50. All I know is that it's running Windows 10, comes with a 120GB SSD, it does not come with the side panel, and it will be good for YouTube and Office. Yeah, I really couldn't believe this. This was my dream come true. I didn't really know what else to expect, so I sent him a message and I told him, do not spoil the parts. And now, it's time for our video. I introduce to you the $50 mystery PC. Alright, let's go for the handheld shot. Now, I don't know anything about this computer. I know that it was on an episode of the PC Parts Hunt, but I watched that ages ago and I completely forgotten what computer this is. It has no name brand, it has no side panel, and it's really old, it only has USB 2. I can't really tell much, but we have a 500 watt power supply by Macron. Some kind of CPU cooler, and some kind of ancient looking motherboard with internal USB ports, and an IDE drive connector. We also have 4 sticks of memory. Oh, I just noticed something, our DVD drive isn't even plugged in. Oh, how am I supposed to use this now? Womp womp. And I have no idea what graphics card this is. At least it's a dual slot card and it has external power, so that hopefully means something. Another interesting fact is that it has micro HDMI. Interesting. There's nothing left to it then to do it, so let's turn on this computer and see what happens. Yes, it boots, nice. Will this thing even boot to Windows? Let's boot to Windows now, please. I would really appreciate it if it booted to Windows. Alrighty then, let's reset and find some boot menu and see if we can boot from the SSD. Okay, so IDE, Kingston drive, okay. So it's a Kingston 120GB SSD. That's nice. Security. Yeah, let's just try it again. Alrighty then. I thought there was a thing where we were able to see which 240 gigabytes that says. I don't know if you can see it or not. How Have we got a 240GB SSD? I mean, that's an upgrade. That would be nice. Alright, so it looks like we have a 240GB. I didn't touch anything! Alright, I'll be back with something.
Here's our next system now that Les really wanted to show me. I'm not that interested, but then I pulled the panel off, literally brand new.
So that's all he says about it. What's interesting is that he said that he pulled the panel off, which means he lost it somehow. I'm only watching this because I'm trying to figure out if he had issues with Windows on this, because in the ad it said it was running Windows 10, but now it's not, which I don't really blame him, because Core 2 Duo, Core 2 Quad Generation stuff does have issues with installing Windows onto them. I've got 2 USB drives plugged in right now, one with legacy version of Windows 10, like a legacy installer kind of thing, and then I also have like the one that I use for everything. Yeah, it's not working, as you can see. I'm just letting it sit and wait. I'm gonna continue studying this video and see if I can get any more answers.
So it's a
Poggers! It just worked. It just turned on. I just turned the camera off. I skipped through 10 seconds and okay, we're in business. I'm glad. That's nice. Alright. So here's the update. We have Windows 10 running on this computer. The speaker system will not work on this computer for whatever reason. I think there's just something... It probably just can't find the drivers for the motherboard, which I guess a sound card would fix that, or using graphics card like HDMI audio. That's fine. We have Minecraft, we have Heaven Benchmark, we have Cinebench, and we have 3D Mark. So, the most interesting thing about this computer is the mystery spec. I did look at it, but I didn't think about it in the BIOS, because it showed up so quickly. Let's go to Task Manager and find out. An Intel Core 2 Quad Q9400, running at 2.66 gigahertz. I believe that is one of the last Core 2 Quads. I don't think that that's too bad. I think it came out in around 2009. I'll check it in a bit, but that's what I think right now. We have 8 gigabytes of DDR2 running at 800 megahertz. So it's not the maximum fastest DDR2 around, but 800 is fine. We have our Kingston 240 gigabyte SSD, so that's an upgrade compared to the ad. I'm not sure why Windows wasn't working before. That's interesting. So I am glad that I got Windows installed on it, but yeah, that's interesting. Okay, now for the graphics card. It looks like we have some kind of NVIDIA GeForce card. Okay, interesting. I've never heard of this before. NVIDIA GeForce GTX 555. I have never heard of this card before. I don't know anything about it. Okay, so it's a 1 gigabyte card. That is interesting. Because this is an office computer, let's do some research. So the Intel Core 2 Quad Q9400 is a desktop CPU, quad core, total power draw 95 watts. That sounds like a lot, I believe. Launch date 2008. That is... yeah, that's pretty old, but I mean that isn't as bad as like a Q6600. Duh. OEM, interesting. I think. Yep, that looks like our card. 1GB DDR5. So it is Fermi. That's nice. I mean, that's hot, but like, this is better than I thought. Unlike the fully unlocked GTX 560 Ti, it uses the same GPU. So it's a cut down GTX 550 Ti. Interesting. Has about the same power as a GTX 460. But it is more powerful than a GTX 650. But it's slightly less powerful than a GT 1030. This isn't bad. This is way better than I expected. I really expected like a GTS 250 or something. Let's start the benchmarks. There we go, we locked the FPS 240. It makes the stutters slightly less worse. It definitely makes the game more smooth. This feels fine. Like I would play with this. Wow, so that's what the inside of a woodland mansion looks like. So, we've made it to the end of this video. This isn't actually a gaming video, so that's why it was only benchmarks and then one round of Minecraft. I just said that this wasn't a gaming video, which actually makes sense because I was sold this computer as an office PC. So, realistically, nobody's gonna game on it. But I'm surprised. It played Minecraft pretty well. And maybe if you want a part 2, we might get some GTA action, BeamNG, maybe even Fortnite. I don't think that'll work, but anyway. I can't believe how well it played Minecraft. Like, yes, you'd have to lock the FPS pretty low to get more stable frames, but I mean, to me, that's perfectly playable. 1080p. Not very high settings, but it's Minecraft and you're getting more than 30 FPS. I'm surprised and not surprised by a couple of specs in this computer. I'm really surprised we have a Fermi graphics card with DirectX 11 I'm surprised that we got a 240GB SSD, which isn't the advertised 120GB, so that's a good little upgrade. I'm surprised by the extra SSHD. I haven't tested it, but he threw it in, so that's good. I'm also surprised that the DVD drive isn't plugged in at all. I'm not surprised by the 8GB of RAM, amazingly, because 8GB of DDR2 RAM is just easy to get out of a bunch of junk computers, so that's fine. I'm only a little surprised by the CPU. I expected maybe a Core 2 Quad Q6600. 9400, that's an upgrade. And it's more modern than the Q6600 and has more up-to-date specs. I don't know what else to say. It worked fine after I had to reinstall Windows. Oh, I'm a little disappointed by the headphone jack issue. Yet again, a sound card would fix that. Or using HDMI audio would work as well. Hey, this power supply has two 6-pin. That's pretty nice. I'm happy I got this computer. It's been a wild ride, this, but I'm glad it happened, and I'm glad I finally got to meet that guy. Thank you for watching, and good night.